Many blessings. You seen the title? Healed warriors win the workplace. I promise you that. You already know how we do. We gotta set the vibe right before we get into the lesson. Ooh. Ooh. Listen, if you've ever gone through something and you are here right now, congratulations. Congratulations. You can take that pain and turn it into power. Telling you, I am proof of it. That's why I shouted to the mountaintops, because it totally is possible. But you need the tools. Woo. I'm a healed warrior. Get some people get up in here, and then we'll get into the lesson. And let me know if y'all want to play the songs that I play in my lives on your own. Let me know. Leave some comments, and I'll create a playlist on Spotify, and you guys can stream the songs there. All you gotta do is say the words. I own the songs, so I can post them up, and you guys can listen to them. I don't need a copyright. I am the copyright bitch. All right. I love music. I would just keep going and going and going. But again, I want to try to keep these to about 30 minutes, because whether you're at work, you're at the doctor's, you're driving, if you're driving, just listening, don't watch me. I want to make sure you guys can get this information in forms that are digestible and I don't overwhelm you. Okay. That's the main point. All right. Let me ask you something. What if the thing that hurt you most is the one thing that can make you win the most? Like, what if your stress at work is not part of your job, but old pain showing up in new places? And what if the people who are winning right now aren't the ones who had it easy? Think about that, right? But what if the ones that are winning right now are the ones who learned how to heal? All right, stay with me, right? Because today, we're talking about how to turn your past into your own personal power supply. So how do we do that, right? You have to stop letting old hurts win. A lot of people are still fighting old battles at new jobs. How does that look? Someone might correct them and now they feel disrespected. Someone gives feedback, they shut down. Any of these kind of ring a bell? Ever happened to you? I know it's happened to me before. I felt sensitive about certain things, right? Someone ignores you and now you feel small. But if you think about it, it's not really about that particular moment. It's your old pain showing up again. And if you don't heal it, it keeps winning. That's why they say, like, you forgive for yourself, not for the other people. Right? But here's the shift. What if instead of letting your past control you, you made it work for you? Let me say it again. What if instead of letting your past control you, you made it work for you? That pain, it taught you something. It made you stronger. It made you aware, showed you what mattered. So I need you to do me a favor. Don't run from the pain that you've experienced. I need you to use it. You have to use it. Because a lot of times those things that happen to us are out of our control. So if it's out of our control, let's use it towards our goals, dreams, and accomplishments we want. So the second thing is I want you to lead with the strength that you've earned. Healed warriors don't just work, they lead. And sometimes you don't always have a title, right? But how do they lead? They lead with energy. When you've been through hard times, you understand people better. You stay calm when things get messy. You don't panic under pressure. You help others stay steady. And I don't know what your definition of leadership may or may not be, but to me, that's the definition of a real leader. People don't follow loud voices. They follow strong energy, and your strength comes from what you survive. That's why they always say, oh, the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. Usually is the case because strong people don't need to project their voice for people to follow what they say, right? So, three, become the most reliable person in the room. In every workplace, there's one person everyone trusts, the one who shows up, the one who stays calm, the one who gets things done. That can be you. Maybe it is you, right? If it is you, congratulations. You're a step ahead a lot of people. But if it's not you, it can be you, right? Healing helps you become reliable because you're not controlled by emotion. That's where that discipline comes. You don't quit when things feel hard. You don't disappear when things go wrong. You stay steady. And I could talk about this because I was a surviving soldier and I did all of those things. And I saw where that got me. And so when people see that you have discipline and you're steady and they can trust you, trust builds opportunity, right? You wonder why XYZ may have gotten a promotion and you did it, right? Well, you got to think to yourself, why did XYZ get the promotion? A lot of times there's funny stuff that happens. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes there's politics involved and we like such and such better. And if that's the case, you can't really do much about that. But you can show up, you can give more, you can do more, and make it so that you have no choice but to acknowledge excellence that I've been giving, right? Because when you're excellent, what can they do? They need you. Now you all of a sudden, the cards are in your hand. But don't get cocky with that. Because, if you're not excellent and you don't actually provide real value, they can replace you. They can replace you. So just know that. So number 4, build a strong, long career. Anyone can do things well that are easy, but real success shows up when things get tough, right? Well, what does that look like? What does that sound like? Bad days, pressure, change, setbacks, like all of these things will not change a healed warrior from doing what they got to do because those things are where most people break and they give up. But a healed warrior does not give up. You push through and you continue because you've already been through harder things. Work pressure doesn't scare them. They faced worse. So they stay grounded and they stay focused. You see, me, I know that I've been through so many crazy experiences that there's very few things that actually scare me. You know what scared me? Is barreling towards a median on a major expressway alone by myself and knowing I'm about to crash into that median and literally there's nothing I can do right now except hold on tight and pray to God. Now that's something to be afraid. That's pressure. So for me, why would I care about little things or what certain people say? You understand? Because it's like I faced harder. This is nothing. This is nothing. That's why you have to heal yourself because had I not healed myself, I probably still wouldn't be driving. I would probably I still have PTSD and I get nervous to certain things, but I definitely wouldn't have driven. I wouldn't have been able to drive big trucks in the movie business, which I've done before. Like I had to heal that in order for me to do what I had to because I knew, hey, I need a car. I have to drive to get places. At the time, it's like there's buses that are really doing what they got to do. So I got a job and I have to stay focused, right? That's scary. Some people, they take everything, their mind flips everything to make it seem grander than it is. And really, 9 times out of 10, it's not as large as we think. Okay, so they stay focused, they keep going, and that's how you build a long career. Not by avoiding hard times, but by being strong through them. So 5, turn your story into your brand. Your story matters, not the perfect parts, but the real part, the hard parts. And you may say to yourself, do I need a brand? I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not. I don't know if I want that life. I don't know if I can. I mean, we should all have a brand. And by saying a brand, it's like, who do people know you at, right? Whether it's in the corporate world or just friends and family, like who are you? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be presented as? Your choice. And if you don't like it right now, you can change it. You have the opportunity to change it until you don't. And so what you want to do is take the obstacles you've overcome in your life and you want to talk about how you did because that gives you resilience. That makes you a healed warrior. That's like, ooh, I want that person on my team. You went through X, Y, Z, and you're still here? You still doing it? Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing. So you want to be able to take that trauma, take that pain, reverse it, and use it so you can gain what you want in life. See, the parts you had to go through, when people see that you've been through something and you still show up strong, they respect you, they trust you, they connect with you. That's your brand. Don't you want to be respected? Don't you want to be trusted? Don't you want to have connection? Well, that's one way that you can build it, just by healing your old wounds, overcoming it, and sharing your story. So your brand is not just what you do, but it's who you are. And in today's world, people follow people they trust. And I don't just mean on social media, right? I mean in real life, because your story can open doors your resume never could. Okay. 6, I want you to use the fire to build a legendary future for yourself. You know, the fire you feel sometimes, that drive, the need to prove something, like that came from somewhere. So don't waste it. I want you to please use it towards the dreams, goals, and desires that you want. That's turning pain into power right there. Let it push you to grow, to focus, to become better every single day. That's what I did. I had a fire in my belly. I had a fire in my belly. That's what drove me to get to my successes. But you have to be careful, because you don't want that fire to turn into anger, because now you start heading in the wrong direction and it becomes negative energy. I want you to take that fire and turn it into purpose, because when you mix healing with drive, you truly become unstoppable. So I want to ask you one more time, what if your past didn't break you? What if it built you? What if everything you went through was preparing you to win in room you haven't even walked into yet? You are not just working a job right now. I don't care what job you're doing. You are not just working a job right now. You are becoming someone powerful, someone steady, someone trusted, a healed warrior. And I want to talk about this real quick. Okay, this is so important. It doesn't matter what job that you're in right now. You can use that to propel you to who and what you want to be and do. You have to reframe your mind and tell yourself every day when you're clocking into wherever you're going, when you're saying, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, you have to say, you know what? I may not like this, but I know where I'm going. I know that in me doing this job, I'm preparing for next. And now what does next look like? Next looks like whatever you want it to be. Maintain the qualities of what you want next to look like and who you want your next version to be. Maintain those qualities in your mind and start inserting them in your everyday life. You make it a habit. It takes 21 days to form a habit, to form or break one. So use that pain, turn it into your power, and remember this lesson. Come back to this lesson. I'll be honest with you. Come back to this lesson and look over what a healed warrior is, what the qualities are. And so I want you to remember this. Your past is not your weakness. It's your training. And the moment you stop running from it and start using it, everything really changes. Everything really changes. So I want you to walk into work differently, think differently, move differently, right? The definition of insanity is what? Doing the same thing over again and expecting a different outcome. We got to be different if we want change, because healed warriors don't just survive in the workplace. They win in it. They win in it. I'm Coach Jazz. This is Overcome the Doubt. And I want you to always remember this. We do not let doubt run our life. We overcome it. Do not let doubt run your life. Never. Never. We don't do that over here. We can't. Life is short. Everybody thinks they have time. We have time. Do we? Do we? Because at any moment, it can be. Now, I don't wish that on anybody. But the reality is, I don't know. Same thing with me. I don't know. I'll tell you this before I log off. The moment I started healing my past traumas and I stopped feeling ashamed for everything I've been through, and I started speaking about it in a positive way or using it as fuel when it came to winning awards, right? A lot of times you win awards for things and you have to submit certain information or tell your story. And so I told my story, and me sharing what I've been through and how I've accomplished things, and that I've always turned my pain into power without even realizing I was doing it. People just started connecting with me. They just started trusting me. And they were like, you know what? Wow, you really have been through a lot and you continue to rise. I mean, if you look back at some of the videos, I showed you my newspaper article where I'm, wow, right there. The headline is to rise above. And then my photos underneath. I didn't tell them to write that. They chose to do that. But that's me in a healed state. Had I been a surviving soldier still, forget about it. I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be in front of you right now. I wouldn't be able to teach you. I wouldn't have the confidence. I wouldn't have looked like this. And this is something else. This is another thing. If purely looks is your main goal, when you become healed, a light starts coming out of you and you're like, yo, did I always look like that? And you look back at photos, you're like, yeah, no, I definitely was looking ran down. I was looking rusty. But that was the trauma. That's the pain. And so when you heal, all of a sudden, your beauty that's always been there starts just emoting out. People are like, you have this glow to you. And you're like, wow, thank you. I'm not really doing much. In fact, my skin's so sensitive, I can't even use most products. And that's me personally. My skin's so sensitive, I can't use most products. I get eczema, like I be breaking out. I've always been like that. So by healing myself and making sure I put in the right knowledge in my mind and drink water and different foods, that helps me heal mind, body, and soul. I thank you guys so much for watching. All right. Make sure you watch this back on Jazz TV. There'll be some clips at Overcome the Doubt. You could always reach out to me at overcomethedoubt.com. That's the webpage. You can lock in, join for the newsletter. I just started sending every Monday a newsletter with some like words of wisdom. I like that idea. So right when you get to the webpage at overcomethedoubt.com, you can put your information in. You'll get a newsletter on Monday. You'll get a discount code for when we start officially selling the products I'm working on right now. Again, everything is here to help y'all, for real. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day. I'll catch y'all.